What is going on, Nitro Sites? It is me, the Nitro General here, and welcome back to another Pokemon Sword and Shield video. Now, like I said when I uploaded that video a week or so ago, going over a bunch of my Xbox games that I had and talking about them and stuff, is that my plan for this channel was never to be only Pokemon channel, but I refuse to only do what people want me to do. And besides, this channel is not big at all. It's not popular whatsoever. So people aren't really telling me what to do. So right now, I'm only doing what I really love to do, which is talk about Pokemon and stuff. But I do plan on doing some other stuff, not just Pokemon related soon. But I did want to make this video because last night I stumbled across this little dilemma in Pokemon Sword and Shield, and I wanted to get it out and I want to talk about it. And the best way for me to get this out and talk about it without sounding like a crazy person is to put it on YouTube. So yeah, plus you guys can give me your 2 cents if you guys have one or not. But more or less, this is just for me to get my thoughts out here, and for people to kind of see my thoughts and kind of. But yeah, so the biggest thing in Pokemon Sword and Shield, after you beat the game, there are 2 main things to do after you beat the game. And there are probably other little things, but probably the biggest things are shiny hunting and competitive battling. Now, for the just regular casual Pokemon player, after you beat Sword and Shield, there isn't that much to do. If you're just a regular casual player, you're probably not going to be into competitive battling. And if you're a regular casual player, then you might not be into shiny hunting because it takes a lot of time. Now, I am a shiny hunter at heart. I didn't really get into way too much shiny hunting until Pokemon X and Y came out, because I never really thought it was worth devoting so much of my time to shiny hunting. And then I did get some shinies in X and Y, not very many. And then once Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire came out, that is when I got really big into shiny hunting. I'd always shiny hunted. I got like 1 or 2 shinies in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and I don't even know if I got really any in Black and White and Black and White 2. And I got I don't even know how many in X and Y, not too many. And then I got a lot in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. That is really where I got my shiny decks from. Now, the biggest thing for me is that I love shiny hunting Pokemon. I love it. I am a shiny hunter at heart. Like I just said. I shiny hunted a lot in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I did in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon. And then when Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee came out, that is when I spent probably not quite as much time, because the shiny hunting was so easy. But I got a lot of shinies in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee, to the point where I just abandoned my goal of trying to collect all 150 available shiny Pokemon in that game, because it was just too easy and I didn't like how easy it was to get a shiny. And then Sword and Shield came out, and it's much harder to get a shiny Pokemon. And so I've been shiny hunting for a lot longer than I've been competitive battling. I've been shiny hunting for 8 years, maybe. And I have been competitive battling for like 2 to 3 years. And when I mean competitive battling, I mean like training up Pokemon that are good competitively to use online, fighting people, and not just like casually, like actually like breeding for good Pokemon. Well, I never really got too much into the breeding part, but actually getting good Pokemon with the right natures and the right abilities and a diverse moveset and everything like that, to be able to beat as many people as you can. And I'm pretty sure in these new Pokemon Sword and Shield games that the biggest thing, where they're supposed to shine the most, is in competitive battling. So, like I just said, I've been a shiny hunter for 8 years, and I've been competitive battling for 2 or 3, and I'm decent, but I'm not great. Like there are a lot of people who I've been watching, like A Drive and Wolfie VGC for a while now, that Pokemon and stuff like that, that I am learning from, and just watching some of the competitive battleships that even the Pokemon channel puts out. I have been watching them to try to get better at Pokemon and competitive Pokemon battling. And I think that I could get pretty good in Pokemon Sword and Shield if I devoted my time to it. But there's the dilemma right there. Do I spend my time shiny hunting? Or do I spend my time getting better at competitive battling? Because I don't have time to do both. And it takes a lot less time to get a good competitive Pokemon than it does to get a good competitive shiny Pokemon. So, I have not resorted to yet, but I'm close to resorting to going on like eBay or something like that and buying competitive shiny Pokemon from people on eBay. Now, not because of the fact that I don't want a shiny hunt for them, because that's not the point. I want a shiny hunt for them, but I want to be able to have a competitive shiny Pokemon. And it really sucks that when you spend days of your life shiny hunting for a Pokemon and you get one with a negative nature that you want. Like, just for example, there's a shiny Magikarp event going on right now in Pokemon Sword and Shield in the wild area. I do not need to do that really, because I already have a shiny competitive Gyarados that I'm going to be transferring over when Pokemon Home comes out. But I did just think, maybe I'll just get a couple. I can trade them if I want to. I can try to get the hidden ability Moxie, because I don't remember if mine is Intimidate or Moxie. But the first one I got was Moxie, but it has a negative attack nature. And that is terrible for a Gyarados. And luckily, if I wanted to, I could keep going and try to get a positive attack nature because the shiny Magikarps are so common right now. But when you're doing that for days on end for a shiny Pokemon, and you get one that's not good for competitive battling, it really sucks, because a lot of the Pokemon that you hatched or whatever, if you're doing the Masuda method, or a lot of Pokemon that you ignored in the wild, could be decent Pokemon. You have a better chance of getting decent competitive Pokemon by breeding than if you do just in the wild. But, and, with work, and, I just graduated college, but at the same time, I don't have as much time to just sit here and shiny hunt as much as I would love to do. And at the same time, get better at competitively. So, I'm going to be breeding a lot of competitive Pokemon, but I'm kind of leaning towards, buying some shiny ones on eBay that will lessen my time for having to shiny hunt, which I will still end up shiny hunting for my shiny living decks, but just for like the final evolutions that are really good competitively, that people can customize and stuff. And I know they're not legitimately, and I know a lot of people have problems with it, and I've always had problems with buying Pokemon online because I don't like doing that either. But I'm come across this dilemma. I don't know if I should shiny hunt or if I should try to get better at competitive Pokemon. So, I'm kind of leaning towards the competitive Pokemon thing, because as much as I am a shiny hunter at heart, like I said, it takes a lot more time. And it's really frustrating when I do that, and then the Pokemon I get shiny is a terrible Pokemon in general. Because sometimes that happens, and sometimes you get really lucky and you get a really good Pokemon. And I just don't know what to do at this point. Because as much as I would love to sit there and shiny hunt, I just don't have time to also, get him better competitively. And I want to get better at competitively. And my goal is to get better at competitively so I can try for, regionals. Maybe not this one coming up, because I'm not going to be good enough by far to do that. But maybe one of the next ones to do is so I can actually compete doing competitive Pokemon. But when you're looking at people who do competitive Pokemon, not very many of them shiny hunt at the same time. Now I know A Drive is pretty good at competitive, and he also shiny hunts. But Wolfie VGC does not shiny hunt as far as I know that much. So any of the Pokemon that he's using most of the time are not shiny. And when you're watching the competitions online, like the online or the in-person VGC tournaments that the Pokemon channel posts, there are tons of those. You can go watch them. I've been watching a bunch of them. Most of the time, the Pokemon that they have are not shiny because of the fact that they devote their time to breeding good competitive Pokemon and not shiny Pokemon. So really, most of the time you're either a competitive battler or a shiny hunter. And sometimes, you do have, some people do have enough time to both shiny hunt and get competitive Pokemon. Like A Drive, but again, he does YouTube for a living, so he gets paid to shiny hunt and do competitive battling. I do not get paid to do either. So it's hard for me to be able to do both. So that is basically my whole dilemma right now, is that I am thinking about buying shiny Pokemon so I can have the shiny Pokemon, not worry about getting them, but also be able to get better at competitive battling. Now, any of the Pokemon that I would buy would not be illegal Pokemon. They would not be hacked Pokemon that people use online. They would be legitimate Pokemon that are just turned shiny. I wouldn't get any Gigantamax Pokemon. I wouldn't ask for ones that you can't normally get in the games. I wouldn't do any of that because of the sheer fact that I don't want to cheat like that. These Pokemon that I would be getting would be legitimate Pokemon you would get legitimately in the game. You could. It would just probably take a lot longer to get these Pokemon because they are shiny. So yeah, that is my whole dilemma. I don't know what I'm doing at this point. But like I said, I am kind of leaning more towards the competitive battling. Not that I don't want to shiny hunt anymore, because that is by far not the truth. And I will be shiny hunting more, especially when Pokemon Home comes out and I get my foreign Ditto, because I've been trying hard to get a foreign Ditto and I'm not buying one off eBay because that's just stupid, because people are selling them for like $5 to $8 for one shiny Ditto, and that's just crazy to me. I'm not going to be spending money on one of those. So, when I have one already that I can just transfer over to do the Masuda method with, and I will be doing that for a lot of Pokemon, just not right now. And I really want to get better at competitive Pokemon, and the only way for me to do that is that I want a shiny hunt so bad. I do. And the only way for me to do that is to get these competitive Pokemon shiny, and then have them so I can competitive battle and have the shiny Pokemon and not have to worry about shiny hunting also for those Pokemon. And I know, it probably sounds stupid to a lot of people, the fact that I can't just pick one and stick with one. But, that's just the thing. It's just hard for me to be able to pick one of these. And I really applaud the people who have the time to both shiny hunt and competitive breed, because it takes time and it takes a lot of effort to do that. And it's just hard when you're at the point in time in your life like I am, and you don't quite have the time to do both of them. And as much as I would love to just spend my day, half my day shiny hunting and half my day competitive battling like some people do, I can't do that. I play the games for a couple hours a day, and then at night, maybe, that's, I wouldn't even say 100 eggs a day, maybe. Like 50 eggs a day if you're Masuda methoding for a shiny Pokemon. And that's plenty of time to get a good competitive Pokemon, but probably not for a shiny Pokemon. And that's just where it sucks. And at that rate, I would get a shiny Pokemon within a couple weeks, a week maybe. But there's a chance that it could be bad. There's a chance that it could be good, but there's a chance that it could be bad. And what's the sense of having a terrible shiny Pokemon? A terrible, like, natured shiny Pokemon? I mean, you're never going to use it. I mean, if you're just a casual, shiny hunter, then yeah, it doesn't really matter. And it doesn't really matter when you're um completing a shiny living dex like I will. If there's three evolutions and the first two are terrible natures, to each their own. If you want to use a first or second evolution in a battle, go ahead. But most of the time, I'm not going to be doing that. I might use a second evolution. I mean, there are definitely second stage evolutions that um, can be good competitively. Like Duosian can be good. So can Piloswine. I've heard of Sneasel being good. Stuff like that. With the right move sets, can do some damage, but at the same time, a lot of times they aren't. You aren't going to be using a Quilava competitively. This is just the first one that came to my head, even though it's not available in Sword and Shield. Rest in peace, National Dex. But yeah. So that is my problem. I'm not gonna talk about this any longer. I just wanted to kind of get my thoughts out here, and I want to know what anybody else's 2 cents is on this subject. Um, I just when I'm competitive battling, I always have this thing in the back of my head where I just keep seeing everybody getting these shiny Pokemon, and I want to get shiny Pokemon, but I also I want to get a lot better at competitive Pokemon, and in order to do that, I have to stop shiny hunting most of the time because, and especially if I want to get good enough to go to regionals, like the next regionals or something, then I'm going to have to devote most of my time to competitive battling rather than shiny hunting. And as much as it hurts me to say that, it's just the truth. So the fact is that I might be buying some shiny Pokemon online just so I have them, and I can competitive battle with them and not have to worry about doing it in the future. Now, as much as I do feel like it could be cheating, like I said before, none of these Pokemon are going to be illegal. They're going to be just Pokemon that you yourself or I could acquire. It would just probably take longer than it would most of the time. All I would want is the right nature and the right ability, and that's really it. I'm not going to be cheating in a hidden ability that is not available yet. I'm not going to be cheating in moves that you can't, or asking for moves that you can't get yet. Stuff like that. But yeah. So that is really it. I just wanted to get kind of my 2 cents out there, my opinion on it, and just see what other people say. Because I know how a lot of people feel about buying shiny Pokemon or hacking in shiny Pokemon. But to be honest, my sense on hacking in shiny Pokemon is as long as you're not using them online, to each their own. Do it. I have to admit, I have seen people online with a shiny on like YouTube with a shiny Magikarp that can use Dynamax Cannon. That's pretty freaking funny. Now they don't let you use that online, but even people who hack it to use it online, just why? Because it's just stupid. But if you're not going to use it online, then if you just want to have it in your game just because it's funny, I mean, go ahead. I have an action replay, or not, a power saves that I have used to give a Pikachu like stupid moves just so I could mess around with my cousin. We each got like 6 stupid Pokemon, and just gave them like stupid abilities and moves and stuff, and then had a stupid little crazy battle with them. And like that's it. That's totally fine. I mean, as long as you're not using them online, it's totally fine. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do that. But hacking Pokemon that you can't actually get and using them online is not okay in my opinion. But yeah, so that is really it. I just don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I will let you guys know what I decide. If you guys have your opinion on it, please let me know, because I just don't know what I want to do anymore. It's just really hard to try to do both. So, but other than that, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this little rant that I had going on. If you did, make sure to leave a like down below. Subscribe if you're new. hit that bell so you don't miss one of my Pokemon videos when I post it. There probably will be another episode of the Pokemon tier list video coming out soon. There was one that I posted last night, so go check that out if you haven't already. But other than that, guys, that is really it. I will see you in the next video. Nitro Channel out. Peace.